I talk to truck drivers on a daily basis, and the question constantly comes up to me about, like, are these trucks going to put us out of work? And I think that's because there's sort of a level of confusion between the type of fuel a truck uses to run and how automated and how autonomous a truck really is. The
Yep,
way I see it, when it comes to autonomous trucks, maybe more so than the technical challenges, it's a social issue of trusting the technology,
absolutely.
trusting the fact there's an empty, you know, heavy vehicle, driving down the road. um, so what I tell drivers is, personally, I wouldn't worry about it in your career of this taking detracting from your own professional value. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I would say this. I mean, again, this is my personal opinion. So I related a lot to, like, the airline industry. They have some of the same issues that you know trucking has in the sense of finding good qualified pilots, right? And so if you think about it today, and again, it's just my opinion, you know, the statistic is that on average that an airline pilot is really only in control of that plane for roughly 14 minutes, right? 7 minutes on takeoff, 7 minutes on landing. The rest of the time is pretty much flying itself. And so I think the technology exists to where you could get on a commercial airliner today and they wouldn't need a pilot. Now, me personally, I'm not getting on that plane, right? And I think there's similar issues around autonomous vehicles, whether that's passenger or commercial vehicles that the public has to deal with. I don't think there's enough legislation or kind of, hey, what does this look like? And so, I would, if I was just going to take a guess, I would say that probably you're going to see electrification more than full autonomous vehicles. I think there's different levels of that, right? I mean, hey, maybe the driver is in the truck, but when he's on the interstate, right? I mean, he's kind of like the commercial airliner. Hey, maybe it's an autopilot, but you still need that driver once you get off the interstate to take it that last mile to its destination. So, how quickly that comes, I still think you're going to need drivers for years to come, right? Yep.
Um, let's shift gears a little bit to talk about electrification of fleets.
Yeah.
So we're at GP Transco. We're one of the first companies that have pre-ordered the Tesla semis, mostly just to kind of test them out to see
Sure.
how they do, to sort of
Yeah.
be early adopters. We're still waiting on those. We haven't heard in a little while any kind of updates about it. But electrification being clearly in the future for the transportation industry. Um, are you guys at Pilot Flying J preparing for that? And if so, what are some of the challenges and what are some of the projections or predictions, if you have any, about that?
Yeah, so I mean, when you think about electrification, right? So as we look to the future, I mean, there's no doubt that the energy and transportation landscape is rapidly changing, right? So I mean, at Pilot Company, we definitely pride ourselves as being innovative and cutting edge and thinking outside of the box, evolving to maintain our leader position no matter what's on the horizon. So a good example of that is think back, several years ago when DEF was came down as a mandate, right? I mean, as the largest travel center company in the country, right? We were the first to offer DEF at the pump and had it at all of our facilities before everybody else. And so, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity when it comes to alternative fuels. We're always looking to, quote, greenify our services and offerings. I mean, so a good example of this is like since 2017, our energy division has significantly ramped up to build capabilities and expand our services to deliver more value and efficiency to the customers. I mean, that's one thing. So like an example, another example of that is we're the largest blender of biodiesel in North America, right? So if you think about as the largest network of travel centers, right? I mean, we have more than 1,000 retail locations across both Pilot Flying J and the 19 network. So between the retail platform and the energy platform, we feel we're well positioned to meet the needs of our customers and guests now and in the future. And so no matter what that is, whether that's electrification, whether that's hydrogen, you know, it's something that we're I mean, our strength is our network, right? And so we have the ability to quickly adapt to what's coming at us.